Are you wanting to build up a bit more certainty, self-certainty in yourself? Well, today I'm going to go into this and I've got 3 steps that you can really use in order to increase your certainty that I've used to really build up more of a belief in myself. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra point for you then as well. I can remember times in my life when I was just terrified to walk into certain social situations. Never good for a business point of view or just general life kind of view. I remember I was like, are people looking at me? Or what are they thinking? Or what if I make a fool of myself? Now I walk into new places and I'm just like, yeah, nice to meet you. It's good to see you. And that's something I built up. I built up a skill. I used to be terrified, like what people thought of me. I used to be shy. I used to be hidden away. When people looked at me, I felt really, really insecure. Like the other day, I went into Toastmasters. I haven't been there for 2 years. Walked into the room. I was like, how are you doing? Good to see you. Granted, I knew a couple of them, but quite a lot of them I didn't. I was introducing myself. I really enjoy like meeting new people now. And that's because I've got a certainty in myself that I'm going to do well in those situations. And it really annoys me when people are just like, and if you're one of these people, I'm going to call you out on it because I'm not here to just be like pat on the back motivation. That's not what I do. I actually want you to take action. So don't just listen to me, actually take action on what I give you today. Right. It really annoys me when people are just like, oh, well, so-and-so is just naturally that way. Or so-and-so is like, well, I could never be that. I could never be certain of myself, never be confident in myself. Well, no, if you keep telling yourself that, right? We are all naturally like got a high level of self-esteem and confidence. The problem is we go through experiences from an early age that determine like new beliefs that can be negative. We might go through school, have an embarrassing experience. Maybe we hear something from our parents who probably well-intentioned and loving. Now, obviously, that's not the case for everyone in the world. I'm very fortunate. I've got 2 loving parents. Thank you very much, mum and dad. But yeah, sometimes maybe a parent said something that's impacted you and actually knocks your self-esteem and confidence, and it goes with you and you hold yourself back. And actually repeated events can really impact you on the back. Again, I spoke too quickly then. Repeated events can really, really impact you because it starts going into your beliefs about yourself. So everyone's naturally got it. It's just, it can be, we learn these negative things depending on our life experiences. The good thing is we can learn good behavior to really serve us. And that's what I want to teach. That's what I'm really keen on teaching. Like I say, I used to have like quite a lot of them. I had these beliefs of like, what do people think of me and all sorts of things like that. And also our brain is trying to keep us safe. Our brain is just trying to keep us safe. It's like constantly analyzing, and mixed with negative beliefs, that's not going to be good. The good news is we can overcome that. Now, I want you to ask yourself this. How is it really helping you by going like, well, I just not got much certainty in myself or confidence. I'm just that one kind of person. No, that's absolute BS. You're lying to yourself. You can work through that and smash through it, right? It is not doing you any favors because I used to be like that. I'd just be like, well, I'm just not a confident person who can stand up for themselves like other people. What a bunch of rubbish, right? You can work through it. It's just about taking little bits of action that I try and give you, that I do give you on this podcast that you can start applying. And we're going to go into some action tips today. So let's dive in straight away. No better time than the present. Number 1, list your best qualities about yourself. This really bugs me. And if you're doing this right now, stop it, right? Stop it, right? And I'm going to say what it is. People will be like, well, I can't think of any. That's a terrible attitude, right? Could you really not? If you really search for them, could you really? It's going to be hard. I'll tell you what's harder though. Going through life not believing in yourself, not working on your relationship with yourself, because that's not doing you any favors. Like, I've spoken to people sometimes on coaching calls, and it's like, I'm beginning, oh, I can't think of anything good. Well, not that attitude, no. Right. So you've actually got to start thinking of what could be a good quality that you'd like to believe about yourself. And if you're really struggling, go and ask someone else who trusts you and gets on with you. Right. start listing the good qualities about you, right? It might be like, you're good at your job. Great, put that down. Well, I guess I'm pretty healthy and, I go running. Great, fantastic, that's good. You're committed to constantly running. It's like, well, I get up on time. Great, you're very consistent. Great, okay, write these down. Write as many as you can as possible. Minimum of 10 on this list. Okay, and that's the second step. I've actually merged 1 and 2, right? Write them down. Write down these ones so you can see them, right? So you can see them every single day and you can read them and keep adding to that list if you want. You're just going to read this again and again and again because that's going to embed into your psychology as well. And then the third one, get into the right physiology and keep reading them. All right, if you're reading these qualities like you're hunched down, you got your shoulders down, you're like, I'm really consistent at, going and exercising. I'm good at my job. No, right? You've got to be in a good state. Now, how can you get in a good physiology? Exercise before you read them to yourself. You can just do the power pose. Google that if you don't know what it is, but I'm going to demonstrate on video. And if you're listening, I'll describe it. So you're standing like Superman or Wonder Woman. You got your hands on your hip. You got a smile on your face. And then do that for 2 minutes and notice the change in your physiology and how you're feeling inside yourself. And you can look on YouTube, Amy Cuddin, she talks about this as well. Do that and then start saying those statements. You can actually start saying those statements towards the end of standing in that position as well, because if you're like in a bad physiology, you're not smiling, you're less likely to be able to believe them and take them in. So those are my first few points on how you can start building self-certainty, alongside actually taking action on things that scare you as well. Now, I'm going to go into my bonus point in a minute as well. Okay, so we've talked about some ways on how you can really build that self-certainty inside yourself. One of the things I really want to point out is you can do these things and you can do the psychological work, but if you don't actually take action on yourself, your brain will only believe that so much, right? You've actually got to do the things that make you uncomfortable as well. It doesn't have to be a big jump. They can be small ones as well. Now, my bonus point for you is, in order to get in a good state, one thing that's really good, I personally find, for an anchor is like when a certain stimulus, an external thing brings in a good feeling, is actually to listen to some music. For me, it's the song Good Life by One Republic, always brings me into a great state. So get yourself into a good state by listening to certain things that make you feel good before you start saying those things to yourself. So let's recap that list again. Right. Number 1, write down your best quality. Don't give up and be like, I don't have any. That's stupid. Right. Push yourself through it. Right. Number 2, write them down. Okay. Number 3, get into the right physiology. So therefore, you believe them when you're saying them. Put a smile on your face, stand in the power pose. And then my final bonus point, as I said, is use an anchor, something that makes you feel good. Music is a really, really good one that I personally find. So that's what I've got for you today, how you can start building more self-certainty. Now, of course, alongside what I want to emphasize this again, about actually taking action on the things you need to do as well, even if they're just small little things, one little small thing each day as well, towards where you want to go. So I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people's lives by being the best you. And remember, you are in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.